What's up, guys, and welcome to the Creating Your Page section of the Shopify Mastery course. Today we're going to be going through exactly how to create your Facebook page for your business. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, guys, so in order to create your Facebook page for your Shopify store, the first thing you're going to want to do is build a Facebook Business Manager account. So the way that you actually do this to create a Business Manager account, and I'm just going to be pulling this up here on screen so you can see how to do it, because I already have an account. I'm not going to show you exactly how to do it because it's pretty straightforward, and Facebook has this step-by-step little numbers here how to do it. So the first thing, obviously, you go to business.facebook.com. So you're going to want to go ahead and type that in. You create account and you enter the name for your business. So you already have the name of your business. You select the page, which we're going to be creating the page. I'm going to be showing you how to do that on this video. And then you enter your name and work email address. So you want to enter your personal name for this because it will be attached to your PayPal account, so that when you actually pay for ads, it will go through that. And then you set up your work email address. So you want to use the email address, obviously, that you have already set up for your Shopify store. And, obviously, like creating a page for your business, I'm going to be showing you how to do that on the next bit later in this video. And then you move through the onboarding process, and that's how you create it. And you're going to be the only owner currently of your business, so there's no need to learn how to add people to the Business Manager. You're going to be the only person on there, obviously. In the future, you may want to add other people to it, but if you're just starting this out by yourself, obviously you just create your business account here. So that's what you want to do. Business.facebook.com. You create an account, and then it will bring you to this page over here. So this page right here is the home page of the Business Manager. This is what pops up for you once you've already created your account and you already have everything all set up with your email. It's all confirmed and all that kind of stuff. So in order to actually create your page for your Shopify store, it may come up a little bit different for you, but if you want to do it through while you already have an account, because it might show you step-by-step how to do it when you're first making your account. But if you hit skip creating a page and you already have your account or something like that, you come here, you just go up to the top left under Business Manager and you click on Business Settings. So after you click on Business Settings, it will then come up with this page here in which you can manage all of your different pages and stuff like that you own. So obviously, creating a new page for this new business for your Shopify store. So all you have to do is then click on Pages to the left over here, and then you click on Add under Pages, and you click Create a New Page. So this is the page creation section. So obviously, we're going to want to go ahead and select a brand or product, because we are a brand selling products. We're not a local business or a company really, or any of these other things. So we're going to select brand or product. So the page name, since I'm doing this all in example in relation to my Frenchie Life page, so I'm going to go ahead and do Frenchie Life for the name. The category, going to go ahead and select whatever best suits the type of niche that you're in. You're going to want to go ahead and select that. So there's a lot of different options here. Looking through it, you could also just select website if you want to, if you're not exactly sure what fits in here. But I'm going to go ahead and go with pet supplies, because that pretty much best suits Frenchie Life for French Bulldog stuff. Like I said, change it to whatever best describes what you're actually selling, what's in your niche for your Shopify store. So I'm going to be selecting pet supplies, click create page, and we'll go ahead and create the page here. So as you can see, Frenchie Life is then under here on the ID. So the next thing you're going to want to do then is click up here on the actual page, and it will then take you over to the page. So like I said, all you do is click on this button up here at the top, and that will take you to this external tab here, which is the page creation section. So once you're on your Facebook page, the first thing you're going to want to do obviously is add a picture here. So we're just going to go ahead and upload the brand image that we already created in the other section. All right, so I have that uploaded now. If you're curious about the circle and fitting in the square here, on Facebook.com it shows up as a square, but when you go on Facebook mobile, it will show up as a circle. So I'd recommend just sticking to whatever type of design that you created. Don't really change it to make it special on Facebook, because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Most people are going to be seeing your stuff on mobile anyway when you're doing your promotions, so you don't have to worry about that. Once you have your picture uploaded on here, you probably want to go ahead and add a button to your website. That is the other thing you're going to want to do. So you can click Shop Now. That's what you're going to want to set up there, and you're just going to paste your website link. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Frenchie Life, frenchielife.myshopify.com. So that is then in there, so we can hit save and finish. And we can go ahead and test that as well. If we just go ahead and mouse over, click test button, And as you can see, it takes us right to the Frenchy Life shop website. So we go back to the Facebook page over here. You want to have that button set up, and then obviously you upload your cover photo. Probably just going to be doing a default dog picture. I can actually just go ahead and upload that now. All right, so I went ahead and uploaded a cover photo. Like I said, it doesn't have to be anything special. It just needs to be a nice quality picture that represents your brand so that people, when they go to it, they're not confused with some like random stuff there, something blank. I would definitely just put something there, but you don't have to spend or worry a ton of time on creating a cover photo that's really like all fancy and stuff. Just make something like a random picture that matches your brand. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. So we have the Shop Now button. We have the cover photo in there. We have our brand image there. And so then the last thing you want to do here is go ahead and add your website to the About section, just so that every different side of your Facebook page has your website linked, just in case people are looking for it on there. So you want to just make sure everything is linked. Now, not a lot of people are going to be on your Facebook page, so you don't have to worry about making everything look amazing. Like I said, you just want to go ahead and add everything to all the different sections of your Facebook page, just so everything is filled in. But like I said, most of the people are just going to be getting to your website from your actual ads and your posts. So don't stress out too much about creating it. So that is pretty much everything you need to do for creating your Facebook page. Like I said, there's really not a lot to do in the way of creating your actual page. You're going to be focusing way more on, curating your Instagram page, making a lot of nice, pretty posts on there, because that's where a lot of organic traffic will come to. So in the next section, we're going to be going over the basics of what you're actually going to be using this Facebook page for, how to run your ads, and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, guys, I'll see you in the next section. What's up, guys, and welcome to the basics section of the Shopify Mastery course. Today we're going to be going through the basics of Facebook marketing, things you need to understand before really getting into it, and what we're going to be going through in the course. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the Facebook algorithm does not push business pages. This is the first thing to understand when we are taking a look at Facebook marketing, when we're going to really be getting started with actually rolling through with this type of strategy. So the first thing is that they don't really actually push business pages. So while business pages are great, you can put all of your information on there and stuff like that, people can find you, they don't push the traditional posts. So similar, how Instagram, right? You make your pictures. Facebook algorithm does not really push those kind of photos or videos or any kind of content that you would just normally post on your business page. So there's really no reason to even make an effort to post standard posts on your Facebook business page. So Instagram, completely separate strategy from Facebook, okay? I wanted you guys to understand that first. So, making standard posts on your page doesn't do much because of the algorithm. So we're not even really going to focus at all on making any kind of just standard posts to try and get exposure and stuff like that. How we are, in comparison with Instagram, completely different. Don't use the same strategy on both of them. Facebook's completely own entity. So with this, you want to focus on that strategy with posts and stuff on Instagram instead. What we'll be focusing on more is just creating ads for Facebook, more specifically the retargeting and the lookalike, which we'll get into later in the module, but that's what you need to understand, is just making regular posts does not really do much on Facebook. So the next thing is we're going to be starting from influencers and scaling to Facebook. I know I talked about this in the other section as well a little bit, but more in depth on this. The reason why we're starting from influencers and scaling to Facebook is because with Instagram, you're going to be gathering that pixel data. You're going to be getting all of that information about different customers, their emails, the type, the way they look, all that kind of stuff. Okay, you're going to be understanding who your customer is and then giving that information to Facebook through the pixel data, which I'm going to be showing you how to actually set up the pixel and stuff like that later in this module as well. But that's what you need to understand. The basics is that we're going to be starting from Instagram and then scaling into Facebook using the data from Instagram to build up the Facebook. So Facebook is for once you already have a few top selling products that work, then what you can do is create Facebook campaigns focused around those products you know already work. You already have an idea of the type of people that are buying it, so then you know what to target. Because a lot of people, they do these basic Facebook ads, they don't really get much results from because they don't know who they're targeting. So that's what we're going to be doing, is starting with the Instagram, moving to Facebook, and then doing retargeting lookalikes. So I'll show you how to do all that kind of stuff in later sections of this module, but that is pretty much the basis of what we're going to be working on. There's different strategies and methods that you want to utilize when doing your Facebook marketing. So So without further ado, guys, I will see you in the next section. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Understanding Your Pixel section of the Shopify Mastery course. Today, guys, we're going to be going through exactly how to set up your pixel and understanding what a pixel is in the first place for your Facebook marketing. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. Alrighty, so the first thing I wanted to do was give you guys an explanation of what a pixel actually is and what it does when you implement it onto your Shopify store. So essentially what a pixel does, this is from Facebook Business, this is their little presentation on it, is that a Facebook pixel allows you to track conversions, optimization, and allow you to remarket to your customers very easily, and allows you to set up, the tracking, the optimization, and the remarketing, right? So you're able to put it to work while customers are coming to your website. Facebook is then able to track that data and see specific actions that they're taking on your website and allow you to then create ads targeted at certain types of people. So this allows you to track the data and allows you to also then create like lookalike audiences once you have a certain amount of conversions, as well as creating different types of ad sets like remarketing as well, like retargeting ads. So one thing to also keep in mind, you want to have 100 conversions on your website. This is from Facebook. Before you even go to create your lookalike audience. So you want to have a minimum of 100 different people buying something on your site. So like I said, Facebook, definitely something you do after you do your Instagram marketing stuff so that you already have conversions on your website. So Facebook actually has enough data for you to be able to effectively use your pixel correctly. If you try and do it without 100 conversions, it's not going to work right. It's not going to be very good for you. So I would definitely recommend, like I said, first get those 100 conversions, what Facebook wants you to do, so that the data actually works properly. And, you could set up the conversion tracking and just adding a code, a little snippet code to your website. So we're going to be doing that right now. Like I said, Facebook Pixel allows you to track data and then remarket and create those lookalike audiences. So to actually add the pixel to your website, the way you do it with Shopify is actually really, really simple. So all we have to do is come over to Facebook first and create the pixel. So you come over to your Business Manager, and then the next thing you're going to want to do is come up to the top left here on Business Manager, and it'll come up with like plan, create, manage, measure, report, all these different things, right? You're going to go ahead and click on pixels. So once that loads, you click on pixels. We're going to go ahead and create a brand new pixel for the Shopify store. If you're setting up multiple Shopify stores, create a different pixel for each one because you're going to want it unique to that website. So up in the top right here, you just click add data source. We're going to click Facebook pixel. So as you can see, we're going to create a new pixel for the website. So for this one, it's going to be Frenchy Life. Obviously, you just put in whatever your store name is there. It's going to be the pixel name, so Frenchy Life, and we're going to also just type pixel at the end. So it's like Frenchy Life pixel. We're going to go ahead and click create. So that is then creating the pixel there. It is done. So it has now been created. So obviously make it work by installing some code. So all we have to do is then takes us to this page. And so obviously we're going to be integrating it with Shopify. As you can see, it's on here. So then we just select Shopify here. So once it comes up here with the go to your Shopify admin panel, we're going to go ahead and just copy this pixel ID. It's going to be different for everybody, so just go ahead and copy yours that pops up. And then we just come over to the Shopify dashboard. As you can see, I'm already here. Come over to the left, click on Online Store, and wait for that to load. Then we just come down to Preferences. And once we see preferences, as you can see, Facebook Pixel ID, all you have to do is then right click and paste that in there and hit save. Now it's going to take some time for this to actually properly set up on your website. Take maybe about 5 minutes for it to all the way go through, but you just paste that Facebook Pixel ID there and that's all you have to do. It is all the way set up because on Facebook, we just come back here to the admin and that's it. You can check your, you entered your Facebook Pixel ID in there. It shows you how to do it like I just did. Right here on the website. And so we did that already. Check the pixel status. So it says it actually could take up to 20 minutes for your pixel status to change once it becomes active. So you do have to wait a little bit of time for it to become active on your website. Once it's all set up, then it will be ready to go. So in the next section of the course, you're going to be going over different strategies and offers you can utilize with your Facebook pixel on your Facebook marketing and different campaigns and stuff like that. So without further ado, guys, I'll see you in the next section. What's up, guys, and welcome to the strategies and offers section of the Shopify Mastery course. Today, we're going to be going through the exact strategy and plan that we're going to be utilizing for Facebook marketing. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing I wanted to do is really go over lookalike audiences. We're also going to be going over retargeting, more or less explaining what exactly they are, what the game plan is for going into Facebook marketing, and then later in this module in the Facebook marketing section, I'm going to go more in depth on how to actually set them up on your Facebook business profile. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and talk about lookalike audiences. So what is a lookalike audience? All right, I've mentioned it a few different times throughout the course, but what does it actually mean? So a lookalike audience is effectively you have an observed audience, right? Your current customers that you've attracted through your Instagram influencer sales, all that kind of stuff through that, all right? Through your social platforms outside of Facebook, okay? So you built up, that base. It doesn't necessarily just have to be from Instagram influencers. It could be from YouTube promotions, any kind of things, all right? Any kind of traffic you're getting, that is your base, okay? That's your base set of customers. So what a lookalike audience does is Facebook takes that observed audience and then recreates a bigger audience of modeled people based on the behavior of that small observed. So you see the observed there, that's 4 people. It then multiplies it into people that look like them, people that have similar attributes, behavior, demographics, all that kind of stuff. So you're able to then have this massive lookalike audience that is pretty much your target customer because you already have some observed customer base that has, proven well for you. So, you've had those visitors, you know who your target audience is, and Facebook is going out there and finding a lookalike. So it's an audience of people that look like your visitors, right? And this is generated once you have enough people through your pixel. So you want to get your pixel nice and seasoned, nice and staked up, you got to throw that salt and pepper on there. You got to get your pixel all, ready for the lookalike audiences for the retargeting. You can't just start doing lookalike audience with only like 5 visitors. Doesn't work. You have to have a group of at least 1,000 people that have come through your website, either purchased something or added to cart, all that kind of stuff. All those data points, visitors, you could at least just have like 1,000 different people that have visited and hit your pixel with data. So it doesn't necessarily have to be 1,000 sales. It could just be 1,000 people that have come through and, given the pixel data, whether that's clicking on to view your website. All that kind of stuff matters too. If you have more people that have purchased, it's going to give Facebook more data to use to find better customers. So don't really go ahead and move to this until you're ready to scale up to lookalike audiences, because if you do it with a little, very little data and you're trying to rush into it, Facebook's not going to really give you the best results with your lookalike audiences. You want to have enough data so Facebook can give you the best results. So with these lookalike audiences, the thing we're going to be doing is setting up PPE ads. Okay, so what is a PPE ad? So effectively what a PPE ad is it stands for page post engagement, okay? Pretty straightforward, PPE, page post engagement. What does that mean, right? So these ads are designed to gain insights on a product if it will succeed. So it's more or less like a test almost. It's basically an engagement post, kind of like your standard Instagram post, but instead on Facebook, like videos and stuff like that. PPE ads typically work really good with videos, but they also work great with just picture ads. You could do both. There's no limitations there with video versus photo. Both work in their own regard. It's just videos sometimes have a little bit better chance to go viral, so just keep that in mind when you're trying to do your PPE ads. And so these are designed to kind of test audience insights, okay? They can get you sales, but most importantly, it's visitors that may be interested in buying. So we're going to go over how to set all these things up later in this module. Just want to stress that we're not right now. We're just kind of explaining what all these aspects are, what all these things are before we really dive into it. Okay, so these are visitors that could be interested in buying. You might even make sales from them, from these PPE ads. They're not really designed to specifically get you sales, but a lot of them end up doing that because a lot of people are getting on that post. Lots of comments, likes, shares especially. You're getting your message in front of a lot of people. Your ad's getting in front of a lot of people because they're tagging people. They're like, oh, I love this this little necklace or something, whatever it is, whatever you're selling. They'll love it. They tag their friends, comment about it. That's a way that you can get a lot of people, and it could potentially go viral which has happened sometimes with some ads that I've seen, just studying other stores. And it can happen from PPE ads if you drive a lot of traffic to it and get things set up right, especially with lookalike audiences can make it a lot easier for you. So that is kind of the strategy there with lookalike audiences and PPE. So that's effectively what we're doing there. Now with the retargeting, explaining what retargeting is. So what that means is basically a visitor comes to your website, and this happens to you all the time. Like, I'm sure you're very familiar with this, being on the internet frequently and stuff like that. You go to a website, leave the website, and the visitor is then shown advertisements based on the fact that you came to the website and then left the website, right? So the pixel tracks what you did, the actions that you took on the website, whether you just viewed something, whether you added to cart, whether you purchased something, all that kind of data is tracked from the Facebook pixel that we already set up. And so it's going to track what people are doing on your website, which is really important for retargeting ads, because then you can effectively cater to who's coming to your website, what they're doing. So, you can retarget to people with website conversion ads depending on what you're trying to get across with these visitors. So, say someone goes onto your website and they already purchased something. Maybe you hit them with a retarget like, hey, we also just released this other cool thing that's very similar, and they might want to buy it as well. Get that repeat business there. There's a lot of different strategies you can utilize. Maybe someone already viewed your PPE ad, and then you can hit those people with a retarget ad, people that viewed it or went to your website from it. There's a lot of things you can do. So that's one thing you could do as well, is retarget those people. And it's specialized because you're getting sales to warm traffic that is already shown interest by visiting your website. You're retargeting these people, remarketing to them effectively. They've already seen your website. They're already familiar with what you're doing. They see it again. They're like, oh, right, that's right. I forgot to buy that necklace. Let me just buy it right now. It's just, you go on the Adidas website, you go on Nike website, you get hit with shoes all day on Facebook ads. It's crazy. So that's what you're effectively taking advantage of here. So what is a website conversion ad? Going more in depth on that. So a website conversion ad is basically the traffic comes to your website, and they're kind of specialized for warm traffic that's shown interest, like I said, in your website. And so they already are more inclined to buy. These are optimized for conversions and purchases of your product. So if you have a lot of data on your website, Facebook has more ability to optimize these ads. That's why I say don't go into these right away. Wait until you have a lot of data in your pixel so that Facebook can better optimize your ads. Because if you try and do it with not a lot of data, it's not going to work. Like, it just won't work. You're not going to get any results from it. So you got to wait until you get a lot of data going through your pixel, and then everything will work properly. So, these are highly targeted ads ready. These people are ready to buy, okay? When they've already been to your website, they've looked into it, they maybe watched a video, they're really into your product, or they just haven't bought yet, and they're like, now I need to buy it, because they see that retargeting ad, the website conversion ads. So in the next section, we're going to go over how to actually set up the ad post for the PPE ad as well as the website conversion ad. So without further ado, guys, I will see you in the next section. What's up, guys, and welcome to the setting up the ad post section of the Shopify Mastery course. Today we're going to be going through exactly how to set up the different types of ad posts for your Facebook marketing campaign. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. Alrighty, guys, so the first thing we're going to want to do is come on to the business manager at business.facebook.com. We already set up our accounts on here, so all we have to do is go over to the left here and click on the business manager tab. We're going to go ahead and click on all tools, because for you guys, it might not pop up in frequently used tools, but we're going to want to go ahead and go to the ads manager section right here. As you can see, create and manage under ads manager. So this is where you go to actually go and create your ad sets and different campaigns. So all we're going to do is come over to the left here and click on create. And then we're going to select guided creation, because it's a little bit easier to figure everything out with the guided creation section. And so this is just a default that I had set up before. So we're going to go ahead and start over. So this is the page that you ultimately want to get to, is the section where it's create campaign. You have the campaign, ad set, and ad. Now, I know this looks pretty confusing to a lot of you guys, but trust me, you will get used to it. And especially with the guided selection, it's a little bit easier to at least understand when you're first getting started with setting up different Facebook ads. So the one we're going to want to do first is the PPE ad, which is under engagement. I'm going to be showing you the different types of ad sets. So like in the last section, I talked about PPE as well as website conversions. So we're going to be going through those two ad sets because they do pop up differently, the way the ad rolls out and the way it looks and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be going through exactly how to set it up. But first, we're going to go ahead and start with engagement. So it's pretty straightforward. All you do is click engagement, post engagement, and we can just keep that as engagement there. You can name this whatever you want to help organize it. I would recommend definitely naming them different things when you're going through and making a lot of ads, because you want to have them easy to be able to find. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue there. And so the ad set name, we can keep that there. So as you can see, it pops up here with the audience section. Now, later in this module, I'm going to be going over how to actually build a lookalike audience as well as setting up a retargeting list. So we're just going to leave the custom audiences section blank for now. But we're going to move down into here for the ages, gender, and all that kind of stuff, and the different types of targeting that we're going to want to do. So there's a lot of different things that you can edit on here. The biggest and most important thing to do is to edit your placements on here. So we're not going to want these ads popping up all over all these different places. We want them just popping up in the Facebook feed section, because that is where you get the most interaction here with people on Facebook. This is where it can go viral and all that kind of stuff, because you don't want Facebook rolling your stuff out to Instagram when it's optimized for Facebook as a Facebook ad instead of just having it as like an Instagram, because Instagram advertisements by themselves don't typically get like a lot of good engagement on them. People usually just kind of like them and scroll on, kind of, because that's like generally what people do on Instagram. So we're going to be keeping it just to the Facebook feed section. So make sure that you uncheck all these different things on here when you are going through and setting up your ad sets. So you go ahead and do that. Then we're also going to want to click only selected or only when connected to Wi-Fi, because you don't want any kind of buffering on videos. You also typically, when people are on Wi-Fi, it means they're in their house and that they are more willing to purchase something. If someone's out on the go and they're like walking around and stuff like that, and they're scrolling through Facebook real quick, they're probably not going to sit down and like pull out their debit card or try and buy something if they're busy. They're out on the go and stuff like that. But if they're on Wi-Fi, they're probably at home and they're more willing to purchase something. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is then also change the daily budget. Now, the daily budget, you can really select to anything that you want, although I would probably recommend going anywhere from $3 to $5 per day, just because when you're doing your ad sets in the beginning, you don't want to start blowing a ton of money, because it's very easy to do that with Facebook. So you have to be careful not to spend a ton of money. You want to make sure that you're actually getting a positive ROI, good, you're making money from the ad money that you're spending. You don't want to be just losing a ton of money for no reason, obviously, with these ads. That's not the point. The whole point is to have profitable ads running. So anywhere from $3 to $5 is probably a good range to get started with. Anything above that, it's not exactly necessary. It may allow you to get data a little bit quicker, but it allows you to save money, especially when you're first learning how to do all this kind of stuff and get things set up. You don't want to be blowing a ton of money on the daily budget. So we're just going to keep that at $5 here. We're just going to leave the post engagement here and keeping the bidding sections all just how it is as default. We're going to come back up to the audience section, because I have a few things I wanted to explain here on the audiences. So like I said, we're going to be actually setting up the custom saved audiences for lookalikes. As you can see, you can set that up, as well as a custom retargeting list, but that will be separate later in the modules. We're going to go over how to do that. So the next thing to keep in mind with your audiences is, say for example, we're selling like a phone case, right? It's an iPhone case. You don't want to be running that ad to people that have Android phones. So what you can actually do is select the different device here on the bottom. Instead, you can do iOS devices only. So that means that and you could even, cancel out iPads or iPods, and you could just keep it to iPhones, right? So only people using iPhones, and you could even select it on higher iOS versions. I mean, you can get really, really specific here on the type of people that are going to be seeing your ads. That's what's really, really great about Facebook ads. You can really, really target them very specifically. So that's what's good here is if you're selling an iPhone case, you don't want that going out to people with Android phones, because they're not going to be interested in buying it. So there's no point. Only run that ad to iOS devices. Obviously, it's still within your lookalike audience, But you just have to keep that in mind when you're running your ads, or even a retarget ad too. You don't want people with Android seeing an iPhone case ad. So that's something to keep in mind here when you're setting up your ad sets, is you need to be specific on the product that you're actually advertising through this like lookalike audience ad or through your retargeting ad. It needs to be specific to the people that you're trying to market to. So like the ad needs to make sense with the campaign objective. So say, for example, you're selling jewelry, right? You're selling French Bulldog jewelry. You probably want to keep that on women here. You don't want little jewelry going out to men. It wouldn't make much sense. I mean, sometimes guys buy it for their girlfriends or wives or stuff like that, but typically girls are going to be the ones to make that purchase there, especially with stuff that's not that expensive online. They're just going to go ahead and buy it. So just think about your target audience depending on the product that you're selling. Like I said, with the iPhone case or with jewelry, even though your audience might be all like men and women in there, you want to target your ads to the product that you're selling. Not a lot of guys are going to be buying jewelry, and nobody with an Android phone is going to be buying an iPhone case. So keep that in mind when you're running your different ad sets. That's very, very important. You want to be specializing it to the people that you're trying to market to. So that's obviously going to depend on how you actually do your targeting here with the people. You can set up different age brackets as well. But with lookalike audience, it's already going to have a lot of that selected, so the potential reach is already going to be narrowed down a good bit as well. You can also select different locations if you, say, for example, have a lot of people in other countries buying, so we don't have to just select the United States. Could also select, United Kingdom as well on here. There's a lot of different things you can test and play around with to see what you get the best results with. So you could also add United Kingdom on here, and that adds like a good amount of people. You could also add like New Zealand. You can add like a lot of other countries. Say, for example, on your Shopify store, you already have like a lot of data seeing that you have a lot of buyers from this specific country on Instagram. Well, then that's a good country to target for the type of people that you're selling your products to. Another thing you could maybe even do, target any country you want on here in the locations. Although I would recommend definitely targeting US because that's where a large majority of people are. But you can target all these other countries too. You're not just limited to United States, is what I wanted to get across mostly. Especially if you're already seeing people from other countries on your Instagram buying your products. That means that, it definitely works in those other countries too. So then, especially with the detailed targeting as well, another thing you could do in here is browse through the different selections and demographics. Now, the reason why I'm not really going too in-depth on the detailed targeting is that we already have that pretty much targeted when we set up our lookalike audiences and our retarget audiences. We're not really trying to niche down and try and select a specific person on here because that's already pretty much selected with the lookalike audience and the custom audience of the retarget list. Like I said in the last video, kind of explaining how they're built. This would be more so if you just wanted to set up a standard PPE ad going out to a bunch of people on Facebook, but doing cold traffic targeting, very, very difficult to get a good profit on, so I don't really recommend doing that. You can try out targeting specific interests on here if you would like to. You just go through here and select certain behaviors and stack them up here depending on different types of demographics, people that would buy your products. So, you could go in and select like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you could probably find like French Bulldog. You can also search things too. You don't just have to browse through there. So if we search like French Bulldog, that's like a niche here. That's a lot, like 2 million people. And then you could also do like narrow it down, or you can expand the audience. That's another, you could like exclude people. So you could exclude people that know about AliExpress, or like DHgate, any of these kind of like Chinese websites where you can order stuff from. You could exclude them on here so that they're not being in your list. You could even do eBay people, because you don't want people commenting on your post that are interested in these websites that already order from these sites and are like, oh, my product's cheaper or this product's only $3 on eBay. Like, I remember getting that comment a lot on Facebook ads. So that's a good thing you could do, is also exclude people that do that, or even have certain purchase behaviors as well. Like maybe, I don't know, like there's certain users of certain things, or I don't know. There's lots and lots of different things in here that you can select. So maybe even they could also match, so they are interested in French Bulldogs, but they also have purchase behaviors of like lots of products online. Like they buy a lot of, like they're engaged shopper. That means that they have like hit the shop now button, or, within the past week, as you could see there on the description. That's another thing that you can target here within, French Bulldog, but they're also an engaged shopper. So there's a lot of different things you could do with different targeting on Facebook, but that's kind of your different options, is doing the lookalike stuff, which I'm going to be showing you how to do, as well as retargeting, and also just kind of like doing cold traffic stuff, targeting people that are engaged into like, whatever niche you're selecting here. You could also stack up other things as well. Maybe if you, instead of French Bulldog, it could be maybe a German Shepherd. I mean, I'm just using that as an example here. There's a lot of different audiences that you could niche down to. Obviously, the German Shepherd's a little bit bigger of a reach than the French Bulldogs, but generally anywhere from like 300,000 to like 2 million is a good potential reach that you want to select with your meter, because you don't want it too broad, but you also don't want it too specific here, because you won't be able to reach like anyone really. You want it to be a good happy medium here on your audience size, and this will adjust depending on what you're selecting here with your targeting, as well as the different audience selections that you make. So that's kind of all the different options there. Obviously you're gonna have to play around with it a lot, but that's what you want to do generally on this page. You can just go ahead and click continue once that you have that figured out. Then on this second page is more so the ad creative. So this section is where you actually select like what type of stuff that you want to pop up. So for PPE ads, what we're going to want to do is then click on create a new page post. So this is where we're going to be actually creating the standard post, the different type of stuff that you want to have on here so that people can find your website and how you want to title your stuff with your post. So I'm going to go ahead and make a post here, and then I'm going to break it down exactly why I'm doing certain things with the way I created this post. Alrighty guys, so I went ahead and set up the ad post. As you can see right here on the right, it is all set up here. So all you want to do is go ahead and select your image or video, and to do that, all you do is click create new page post. To go ahead and add all of that information in here, you just type it up and then you just click save unpublished post, and then it will pop up here on the right. The next thing you want to do then is add this shop now button, which as I did here, all you have to do is click add shop now button. You just hit edit, you select shop now, and you go ahead and paste your Google shorten link. To do this, all you have to do is go to the Google URL shortener website, which is this GOO.GL. You just go to that website, and then it will take you straight to the URL shortener, which is what I recommend that you do for these posts, because you want people to be able to click on them easily with like the Google shorten link. So that makes it easier for people to click on them and find your products. So you want to do this typical 3-layered title here for the PPE post. You want to have Frenchy iPhone, like the name of your product, obviously. For this, it's Frenchy iPhone case. Want to show your love, like a question. You want to have that some sort of thing there. Depending on the product you're selling, and maybe if it's a fitness product, it's like, do you want to get fit? That kind of thing there you could add for a question. So I recommend you have like the name of the product. Also, you want to do a 3-layered emoji thing, which in case you don't know where to find emojis from, you just go to the website called emojipedia.com. You can search up any kind of emojis on here, so you can go ahead and copy them and add them easily to your Facebook ad post. So it makes it really simple for you to get those emojis copied and pasted. And you could also search for them as well if you would like to do that. And so you add your shop now button, you have your picture or video there, and you have your 3 layers of text. So like I said, the first layer is like title and question. Then you have your get yours on sale with free shipping with the link. Then you have tag a fellow pal that would love to have this. So, that helps to hopefully get you some more shares and some more stuff that people would comment, their friends and stuff like that. So they're tagging their friends to see the post like, hey, I like this video or picture or product or whatever this is. Like, oh, this iPhone case looks cute. All that kind of stuff you can put in there. Obviously, for this type of ad, you would want to just select iPhones, selecting people that have iPhones in the ad set section with selecting the audience and all that kind of stuff, the placements. So that's the different type of targeting you want to do. That's pretty much all you have to do here for the ad. And then you would just click, confirm, and then it would set up the ad for you, and it would start running out to your audience. Now, you can also preview how it looks on different news feeds. Now, most people are going to be seeing, and I say most people, I mean like 99% of people are going to be seeing it on mobile, but some people may also see it on their desktop news feed as well. So just to show you how it looks on here, it also can look like this on news feed. So as you can see, everything's nice and laid out as well as how it looks on mobile. If you're wondering what this second one here, this is if someone goes to it from like the like Safari version of Facebook on their phone. So it looks a little odd, but it still works. And then we have, the traditional mobile news feed. And then next, I'm going to show you how to set up your website conversion ad. So all we have to do is go back to the main menu of the Ads Manager on here, as you can see. And then all we do is come over to the left. Now, if you were still setting up your engagement ad, you can just save that as a draft, as I did on here, just so that, it's not deleted, but it's also not live. So all we have to do is then click Create. And we're back on this menu here. All we're going to do is click on Conversions. And then we're going to set that up for purchases. Now, depending on how much data you have run through your pixel, you may want to select different stuff, but I would probably recommend that you just select purchases for this, because that's ultimately what you're trying to get with these conversion ads. So you can name it whatever, and then we're just going to hit continue, because the name doesn't really matter for us right now. Like I said, once you have your pixel all the way set up, and you have a lot of data in it, you'll actually be able to run these retargeting conversion ads. But until you have that data, Facebook won't actually allow you to even make it live. So like I said, you have to do that first before you can even set up any of these kind of ad sets. But once you have that data, then you'll be able to actually set up a conversion ad based on previous conversions, and Facebook will actually be able to optimize it for you and have a good audience. Now, for these website conversion ads, the audience, like I said, we're going to be setting up a retargeting list in the next couple sections. We're going to be setting up like the lookalike audience and the retargeting list. So I'll get to how to set up that custom audience there, but that's all you're going to do is select the retargeting list. You don't really need to mess with anything else on here other than obviously the budget. You would probably set to like $5 or something like that. And then, everything else you pretty much keep on the default setup that it has for you because it's already pretty much placed properly. And then, oh yeah, you also want to edit the placement. So like I did on the last one, you just keep it on feeds. That's the only place that you really want it on. You don't want this ad popping up in other places really, because it's not going to be as optimized. Now with retargeting ads, you could potentially set it up to also show up on Instagram feeds. I've seen some people do that and it has worked out well for them. But Facebook feeds is probably the best place you want to be setting up your retargeting. You could do it on Instagram feed as well. I have seen some people get results with that. So that's just up to you. If you want to play around with that as well, you could do that. But I would just say to put it on the feeds, because that's where people interact with things the most. So next, pretty much leave all of this blank because we are using a custom audience that's already really, really narrowed down. So we don't need to narrow it down anymore other than just the placements of where we want the ads. Then all we do is come down here and click continue. Now, like I said, you have to have this conversion event. Obviously, it won't let you set it up until you have that, you have enough data in your pixel. So then you hit continue. And now with this type of retargeting ad, there's a couple of different ways that you could set it up. As you can see, you could set it up with a carousel ad. This is good if you're trying to do a retargeting list to just general people that have come to your website and you're trying to just show them a variety of your other products. You could set that up and add different like images here and different cards if you wanted to have like different things pop up. I'm not going to be setting it up because it's pretty self-explanatory here. You just change the image and set it up for each product that you sell and just link it here. That takes a while to set up, obviously, but you can do that if you want. You could also do a video slideshow as well if you wanted to. There's a lot of different options here for your retargeting ads. Carousel ads do convert pretty well because you have people interacting with it, especially if you put like, the dog bed here, then you put like the phone case here. This could work really well if people went to your website, they already shopped around, and now you're allowing them to shop around again, and they may really want to actually purchase. If, they're seeing it again, they're like, oh, I got to get it. You could also do just a single image here as well, just like one nice big ad image. You could do a video. I mean, really, the options are endless here with the different formats, but you're just keep in mind that with these type of retargeting website conversion ads is you are optimizing this for someone who's already been to your website, and it's people that are pretty warm. They're warm to what you're doing. They already are familiar with who you are, and so they're more inclined to purchase. So you can just show them straight up like, this is the buy button pretty much, and they'll be like, oh, that's right, I needed to buy this, and then they just go in and get it. So there's a lot of different ways you could set it up. There's lots of different options here. If you need other extra help with this, Facebook has a lot of different tutorials and stuff. If you just search on here, they have little help things that pop up, little icons and little like help sections. As you can see, all these things like tell you what they are. But it's pretty straightforward, honestly. You come through here, you set it up however you want to do your retargeting ad, and that is what you do. So with PPE, there's a little bit more specifics that you want to follow, but with retargeting, it's a little bit more open to different things on however you want to set those up. So in the next section of the course, I'm going to be going over how to actually build up that lookalike audience, how to get it all set up within the Facebook Ads Manager. So without further ado, guys, I will see you in the next section. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Building a Lookalike Audience section of the Shopify Mastery course. Today, we're going to be going through exactly how to build your lookalike audiences for your Facebook marketing strategies. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is come to the Business Manager section on business.facebook.com. Then we're just going to come up to the top left over here and go ahead and click on All Tools. Then we're going to go over and click on Audiences. So this is effectively how we're going to build the lookalike audience, is in the Audiences section. We're going to let Facebook develop that for us. So all we do to create the lookalike audiences, you go to there, you're on the audience section, and then right here it says reach the people who matter to you, and it says lookalike audiences, so you're able to reach new people who are similar to audiences you already care about. You can create lookalike audiences based on people who like your page, conversion pixels, or any existing custom audience. So what we're doing with these lookalike audiences, there's a lot of different ways you can actually develop a lookalike audience on here, but I'm going to be showing you how to do it in probably the best way you want to do it, but I'm going to be showing you as well a couple of different other options. So the first thing you want to do, though, when you come up to this lookalike audience section is obviously click on create a lookalike audience, right? Then we're going to go ahead and select the country or regions to target. Now, what I would recommend is just doing United States. You can try other things as well, but I would probably just select United States because it has a large amount of people that are on Facebook are in the United States. So I'd probably just select that. Obviously, you can target other countries depending on your personal preferences, but I'm in the United States, so I'm just going to select United States, okay? So go ahead and select that there. Audience size, you're going to want to just keep this on a 1% because this is the percent of the total population that you're selecting. So as you can see, you can go all the way or down, but I would just stick to 1 because you just want 1% of that match. You don't want to like go too big, you know, just 2.1 million, still pretty solid. And then this is the more important part here with the source, okay? So what you can select is either a different page or custom audience that you've already built, but since we haven't built one yet, we're going to go ahead and click on Create New. You can select page source as well, but we're going to go ahead and click Create New. So this is how you're going to do your lookalike audiences. So like I said, but you're not going to be actually doing this until you have a good amount of customers on your store, enough data for Facebook to create the lookalike audience, which you need around like 1,000 people to actually create. So what we're going to want to do is then click on the custom audience section under the Create New. And so as you can see, there's a lot of different options that you can select from customer file, website traffic, app activity, offline, and engagement. So what we're going to be doing for this strategy is utilizing the customer files. So utilizing the customer data that we already have from our store, from people that have come to our website, either purchased something or are already a customer of ours, and utilizing that data to then create a lookalike audience off of the existing customers. There are a variety of different strategies you could also use with website traffic, but that's more important and more better to utilize for retargeting, which we're going to get into in the next section. But for lookalike audiences, we're going to want to stick with customer files. So all we have to do then is get the customer data. And so in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and pop over to another store that I have that actually has some customer data already built up in it. So I can show you what you would do once you already have some customers. But we're going to go ahead and grab that file in a second here. But what we're going to be doing with that file is then uploading it here, and you can add customers, you know, with that data here, and then it'll import it directly to Facebook, and it will allow it to create the lookalike audience. So I'm going to go pop on that Shopify store and show you exactly what to do. So once you're on your Shopify store that already has a good amount of customers built up, all we have to do is then click on the export button up at the top. And if you're wondering what page this is on, you just go to the left bar over here underneath home and just click on customers, and then we select export. So the export options that we're going to want to select is all customers, not just the current page. I know that's what it default pops up. You want to select all customers so that you're exporting all the customer data, and then you could either do plain CSV file or Excel. It really doesn't matter. We could probably just do plain CSV file because we really don't need to open it in Excel or anything like that. Then you just click export customers and it will then email that directly to you. And then once you get that file, you can then add it to your asset library over here on your lookalike audiences, and you can go ahead and upload it there. I'm not going to do that right now because this is just an example, but you can upload it there, and then it will go ahead and tell you that it will take a few days for it to actually build the audience, because it has to go through and like match it up, like I showed you guys in the strategies and offers section, how, you know, Facebook has to go in and match that to people that look similar to your audience that you've already built up. So it's going to take some time for the lookalike audience to develop. But once it develops, you'll have that ready for you just based off of the customers that you already have, and it matches with, you know, people on Facebook. As you can see, information to match them with other people on Facebook. So once you have that set up, then you can go ahead and select that in the ad posting section, which is what I showed you with, you know, you could select the audience. In the last video I showed you, you just click that and it'll pop up with your lookalike audience based on what you name it and stuff like that. And it's pretty straightforward. So that's effectively how you go in and create a lookalike audience. In the next section, we're going to be going over how to do retargeting and different strategies that you can also do with retargeting based on people that come to your website or people that see a different PPE ad. So without further ado, guys, we're going to go ahead and do that in the next section, and I will see you there. What's up, guys, and welcome to the retargeting section of the Shopify Mastery course. Today we're going to be going through exactly how to set up your retargeting audiences for your Facebook marketing strategy. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is come over to the Business Manager section of business.facebook.com. Then we're just going to come over to the left here and select on the Business Manager tab here, go to All Tools, and we are then going to select Business Settings. So this is something where we have to actually connect the pixel so that the pixel can be attached to the ad account that we are going to be setting up these audiences within. So we come over to the left here and then select Pixels, and then we come down to the Frenchy Life pixel, and then we go ahead and assign the ad account, which I'm just going to select my ad account here, hit Save Changes, and then the ad account is officially assigned to the pixel so that you're going to be able to select this pixel as an option for fulfilling your audience selector, which we'll get into in a second here. But that's the first thing you have to do. You first have to add the pixel to the ad account, and that's all you do right there. You click that button like I just showed you. And so that's the first step. Now, next, we're going to come up to the top left over here, and we are then going to select the audiences section, just like the lookalike thing. Audiences section is where we need to go. Similar to lookalike audiences, rather. And so load up here. As you can see, there's lookalike audiences right there. So for retargeting, instead, we're going to be selecting custom audiences, because this is a custom audience that we are creating from the people that visit our website from our pixel, which I'm also going to be going over a couple of other retargeting strategies that you can set up within custom audiences that might be helpful as well for your campaigns. So obviously you click here on create a custom audience, and then instead of customer file, this time we're going to be selecting website traffic. Now you can also select engagement as well as another option, but we're going to go ahead and first select website traffic. This is how you do it with the pixel. So all we have to do here is then select the Frenchy Life pixel from the top. As you can see, it's got the little green dot, which means that it has been activated and it is nice and working on the website. So as you can see, this is here selected, and we're going to include any people who meet any of the following criteria. So this is website visitors in the past 30 days. You can change this to 180 days as well. That's also good to do if you want to just target generally everyone who's been on your site. Sometimes it's better to even just do people who have recently visited your site, maybe in the last 7 days, okay? You know, you could change this and play around with it depending on the type of ad that you're going to create. So keep in mind the type of ad that you're creating for the audience that you're making. So, you know, if you were doing one that's more recent, like, hey, thanks for visiting, they just visited the site, obviously, and then you hit them real quick with another thing, because when you're remarketing to someone, they're already warm traffic. They're already familiar with your product, your site. They've already been there. So they are more hot and ready to purchase, okay? So maybe it's better to target people within the last 7 days, maybe even just the last, 3 days. If you recently did like an Instagram promotion and you want to hit them again with another ad, that's something else that you could do, you know, to people that have been on your site. You know, they're hot, they're like really considering that purchase. It's the same thing Amazon does. You know, Amazon hits you with those retargets all the time. So that's something you can set up. You can do a max limit, like it says here, with 180 days if you just want to target everyone. But, you know, just keep in mind what you're doing over here should align and be congruent with your ad that you're creating, with the thought process that this ad is, you know, who you're targeting, you know, depending on the type of visitors that you want to select for this custom audience. Now, you can create as many custom audiences as you want. You can name them here. So this one could be like recent visitors, okay? If we're going to be going ahead with the strategy of just like in the past, like 5 days or 3 days or something. Let's just go 3 days, okay? So they're like recent visitors. You could create a completely separate ad set for those people. And do something with that as well. So there's a lot of different strategies you could utilize. Another one maybe just like 180 days, like all visitors. Like I said, you just play around with it and select different things in here. There's a lot of different strategies. So if you go to all website visitors, this is where you can also select people who visited specific web pages even. You could retarget people that have visited a specific product and then remarket that specific product at them again. So that's another cool thing you can do. Maybe if you're promoting one specific product a lot, people that go to that specific web page will then be retargeted instead of just general people who have been to your site overall. So that's something else you could target as well. Instead of just all visitors, you could target people who visited a specific product web page, and you just put that URL in here. It contains those values. So it's very easy to set up. That's another thing you could do. You could even do it by time spent, which is pretty cool. You know, like, or set, you know, specific web pages. There's a lot of different things here. You could even do it based on if they, you know, did a purchase as well, if they've been on your site. Now, I don't have any purchases yet on the Frenchy Life Pixel, obviously, but, you know, you could set up these events depending on people that viewed page, viewed content, add to cart, purchase, all that kind of stuff. You can remarket to certain people that have visited your site, took certain actions. That's what's so great about the Pixel, is that you can really, really specific and narrow it down on who you want to hit with certain ads based on the time that they've been there. Lots of different factors. You could even include, like, and then they also had done this, right? So they also did this or that. You could also do this, like, exclusion thing as well, like exclude people that went to a certain page or something like that. Like, there's a lot of things you could play around with here with the targeting. So that's just something you can keep in mind there. So you can just create that audience off anybody, and, you know, you just click create audience here, and it goes ahead and makes that audience here in your custom audiences. It does take some time to actually populate, but like I said before, in the setting up the ad post, you just select that in your custom audiences section, and it will come up with the name here. You just select all visitors or whatever. And it will take a little bit of time to populate, similarly to lookalike audiences. That is something you have to keep in mind. But it usually doesn't take that long to actually populate and set up properly. So like I showed you guys, there's a ton of different types of custom audiences you can really create in here. You just have to get, you know, unique with it and get creative, and you can figure out lots of different ways that you can remarket and retarget your customers and people that visit your website. So in the next section, we're going to be going over how to scale your Facebook ad strategies and marketing, and when to take certain actions on certain types of ads and all that kind of stuff, going over really how to go from the beginning phases to like later phases and really just scale up your overall campaigns. So without further ado, guys, I'll see you in the next section. What's up, guys, and welcome to the how to scale section of the Shopify Mastery course. Today, we're going to be going through exactly how to scale your Facebook marketing efforts and campaigns. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the process for actually scaling up your Facebook advertising, stuff like that, what we're going to be doing is starting obviously with your Instagram and Facebook interest PPE ads. So with this process, the kind of funnel that we're going to be leading people through is we're starting out with those Instagram influencers, right? Then we can even do Facebook interest PPE ads. Now, this is more so to gauge interest and to get some visitors and see when you're testing products. Now, you can get a lot of sales off of PPE ads with just targeting interests, but, you know, it doesn't always work like that. But if you do have it working like that with a PPE ad, for all means, keep running it if you're making a profit from it. But just keep in mind, that's mostly to build up your lookalike audience and to get your pixel firing so that you can run them down the rest of the sales sales funnel. So, obviously we're starting out with that, the Instagram and the Facebook. Then, after that, we're doing our lookalike audience with 1,000 customers, because you have to have 1,000 customers first for the lookalike audience to actually build up properly for Facebook to be able to build out that data. Then, obviously we're doing our retargeting and website conversion ads. So that's the next step here. And, that is basically when your visitors come to the website, then the visitor leaves, and then they're shown advertisements based on what they went to or how you set that up, which I showed you in the last section. So then, you have your purchase conversion ads, and you only want to run these once you have over 100, or otherwise it won't optimize properly. So this is basically the sales funnel that we're going to be running through with our customers, the different Instagram influencers, bringing them down that, cooking the pixel up as they go along, and with the Facebook interest PPE ads. And this is how, you start out getting sales at the top line, but you can bring up your sales volume by testing out the lookalike audiences and going into retargeting ads as well. Then, so more specifically with scaling on Facebook ads alone in comparison to the overall scaling methods, which I also showed for Instagram influencers back in that section, this is more so scaling with Facebook. So with our Facebook advertising efforts, what we're going to be doing is then increasing the ad budget. So with the ad budget, like I said, you start around $3 to $5, but if you're getting a good profit from that, all you have to do is then increase it to maybe $10 a day or $20 a day. If you're still making a profit, you can keep increasing it as you go along. Now, if something dies or the ad just stops making you money, obviously cancel it. Don't keep increasing your budget in your ad spend. But if you're making money at $3 or $5 on that PPE ad, increase the budget so that you can make more money. Don't get comfortable with just making X amount of money when you can scale it up and bring it up to the moon. So that's what you want to do then with your ad budgets there if it's working. So then, and at the same time, it takes a little bit of time to re-optimize when you do increase your ad budget. So don't expect it to happen instantaneously, but maybe wait 24 hours. It should, re-optimize and start working really well. And this basically expands your reach, increases the amount of people that you're getting your ad in front of. So that's pretty much the strategy that you're going to want to do for how to scale your Facebook ads. In the next section and module of the course, we're going to be going through exactly how to set up your email marketing. So without further ado, guys, I'll see you in the next section.